Good morning, my name is Leanne Yu, and I would like to welcome you to today's service. We will begin our service with opening meditation, followed by Nembutsu. Please join me in placing your hands together in Gaisho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Please rise for the singing of the Gatha, Namu Amida Butsu, on page 188 of the service book, followed by recitation of the Golden Chain and Nembutsu on page 5. Golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namada. Please join in the chanting of the Sutra Jusei on page 95 of the service book. During the Sutra chanting, we will have Oshoko or incense offering by the following: Dharma School student James Naishi, adult Kimi Ishihara. We will now listen to a Dharma school message by Reverend Tammy Shibata. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Nice to see you all here today. I know despite maybe the rainy and cold weather, you're all here gathered to listen to the Dharma, and I always appreciate seeing your happy faces, even if it's just in your eyes, but I can see how happy your eyes are, so thank you so much for being here. So this weekend, I traveled to Southern California, and during the past few weeks, we've been promoting the video project of the Gardena Buddhist Church. And this is through their organization of Ichimi. And this organization, that's part of their temple, really stresses inclusivity of everybody who comes to our temple, especially creating a safe space for our LGBTQ plus individuals, Sangha members and their families. And so I wanted to continue that the feeling, the kind of kimochi that I had this weekend, and I just returned last night, and it's still kind of resonating with me. So I wanted to share, especially a story for the children, especially called "All Are Welcome," to really emphasize the inclusivity that we're trying to promote in all of our temples, especially addressing the needs and creating more awareness for creating this inclusivity and how we can do that at our temples. And I'm hoping that this book will resonate with the children as well. And I'm happy to say, and thanks to all of you and all of your support, that we were able to send over a check of $1,000 to help with their video project. So thank you so much. And they were truly, truly appreciative, allowing them to continue this project, not only for this first stage, but of course, for additional videos in the future. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate your generous donations. So let me take this down, this beautiful flower, so I can see everybody. And our members on Zoom can also see this book too. Okay, so this book is called All Are Welcome by Alexandra Penfold and Suzanne Hoffman. And it really was a New York Times bestseller. All are welcome. Pencil sharpened in their case, bells are ringing, let's make haste. School's beginning, dreams to chase, all are welcome here. No matter how you start your day, what you wear when you play, or if you come from far away, all are welcome here. In our classroom, safe and sound, fears are lost and hope is found. Raise your hand, we'll go around, all are welcome here. Gather now, let's all take part. We'll play music, we'll make art. We'll share stories from the heart. All are welcome here. Time for lunch, what a spread. A dozen different kinds of bread. Pass it around till everyone's fed. All are welcome here. This looks like our coffee social. Open doors, rush outside. We will swing, we will slide. We'll have fun side by side. All are welcome here. We're part of a community. Our strength is our diversity, a shelter from adversity. All are welcome here. We will learn from each other, special talents will uncover. There's a big world to discover. All are welcome here. So much to learn, so much to do, and when the busy day is through, can't wait to come back to start anew. All are welcome here. Head for home to get some rest and greet tomorrow ready and fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our time together is the best. All are welcome here. You have a place here. All are welcome. You have a space here. And perhaps you can see yourself represented in this picture too. Okay. So I thought this book was a really beautiful illustration of especially one of our very, very special jewels. So in Buddhism, which is throughout Buddhism, all of the different Buddhist schools, there's the three treasures. And of course, when we recite them, we take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So Sangha is just as important. And Sangha means community. And that's why it's so important that we too express our inclusivity and our wonderful welcome to our new friends at the temple, our new visitors who we may see once or twice, but hopefully it'll encourage them to be able to encounter the Buddha Dharma the way in which we have been able to do so. And one of those ways is doing what we can. Again, we're trying to do our share in regards to showing that we care for another person, especially individuals who are new to the temple. So what ways, we can just kind of conclude with some of this, but what ways can we welcome our new friends to the temple, maybe new visitors? What can we do to express our inclusivity here at the temple? I'm sure you have some ideas. What's that? Greet them? Wonderful, greet them. And how would you greet them? What would you say? Hello, right? Yeah, welcome. And I think maybe even just small words like hello and welcome, and even a smile with your eyes, right? You can't see our faces, but you can smile with your eyes and do that. And I think that will go a long way. And what about, I think you can think about when you were at school and maybe just starting in a new school or a new class, and you can think about that one individual that said, hey, come play with me at recess, or why don't you sit right next to me during lunch? Or let me help you with that math project or that math assignment or problem, how that made you feel. So I think even some of our adults can think about those moments in our lives, even when we were young children, feeling a little bit unsure of ourselves, but that friendly and familiar face that expressed care and concern and welcome and inclusivity. And I think that will go a long way, because what I learned this weekend from hearing another minister in our Buddhist Churches of America say that, how can I receive and hear the Dharma if I don't feel safe in a space? And we all want to be able to have that ability or that opportunity to hear and receive the Buddha Dharma. So we can think about that the next time that we see a new visitor. And I really encourage you to extend that hello or welcome to them so that they can feel like a member of our Sangha as well. Okay, so please join me in Gassho to conclude my message. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you, Sensei, for your wonderful garment message. Next, we will observe birthdays for December. Well, we will start with the Dharma School students. Are there any Dharma School students here that have birthdays in December? No? Okay. If so, let's go up with the adults. Janet Saga. Dr. Kenny Shimazaki. Karen Shimazaki. We're getting older, so we need a little bit more time. Mrs. Hasagawa. Darlene Bagshaw. Charlie Bagshaw. Alan Kawaguchi. Are there any other adults with birthdays in December? Please come on up. Yes. Let's sing happy birthday to our friends. Thank you for the cupcakes, Tiffany. Announcement. Join us for our 40-day service on December 11th. Our guest speaker will be Reverend Ken Fujimoto, BCA Minister Emeritus. We will also be installing officers from affiliate organizations and the church executive board. Our New Year's Eve service is at 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 31st. The New Year's service is at 11 a.m. on Sunday, January 1st. We are returning to an in-person crowd feed on January 14th. There will be limited seating to 350 people. Cost is $70 per person. $35 for 10 years of age and under. Groups of 8 or larger may receive reserve seating. Please contact the church office for more information, tickets, and reservations. We are also seeking volunteers to help during the event. Contact our bag shop if you can help. We're also looking for donations for the raffle. Please contact Sachi Yanokita or Candy Hayashi. Our annual New Year's Eve party will now be a belated retirement for Reverend Motoyoshi and welcome for Reverend Shibata. Invitations with more information and RSVP info will be sent out shortly. We will ask for your very best potluck dish, so which we will supplement some additional dishes. If you would like to be involved or have a talent to share, please contact Darling Bagshaw as soon as possible. Script is an ongoing fundraiser for the church. The December order has already been submitted. See Mike Shibata for additional information. Sangha Club is continuing collections of aluminum cans and recyclable plastic bottles. Donations will be left in the white bin under the carport area. Help keep recyclable bottles and cans out of our landfills while supporting one of our youth organizations. The Shotsuki service for December will follow this service. Are there any other announcements?
Today's coffee hour will be held in the reception room, next to the gym, in the gym building. At 11:30, BWA is having appreciation luncheon. Thank you. YPA is having a toy drive. Next Sunday is the last day to donate unused, new, unused, unwrapped gifts. Also, cash will be accepted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Are there any other announcements? If not, students are dismissed to class. Please observe good etiquette while leaving and offer incense if you haven't already.
Frequently, ready?
Okay. Well, thank you for your help, Vivian. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending not only the first portion, but the second portion of our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of December. And to begin today's service, I would like to invite you to begin with the chanting of Sambujo. And again, Sambujo is a hymn called Three Respectful Callings. And together we call upon Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion, Shakyamuni Buddha, who was a historical Buddha who lived in India more than 2,500 years ago, and the Buddhas of the 10 directions. And I like chanting Sambujo because it does include the Buddhas of the 10 directions, and especially because this is our opportunity to show our love and respect and remember our loved ones who too have attained enlightenment and are considered Buddhas. So when we chant Sambujo, we are chanting for them as well to be present and to be with us during today's service. So please join me in the chanting of Sambujo, which is on the handout, and this will be followed by the Hyogyakumon, the dedication of the service, and the reading of the Shotsuki hymns for the month of December. Oh We have gathered today to observe our Shotsuki monthly memorial service. This is our monthly service to remember friends and loved ones who have passed away in the month of December. They are George Yutaka Akaba, Stella Akaba, Tad Akaba, Toku Akaba, Shizuka Asai, Dorothy Aiko Baba, Mitsue Baba, Carrie K. Dobana, Yukie Dobana, Mary Masako Doi, Daniel Freeman, Toshimitsu Herbie Fujihara, Dick Motoharu Fuji, Himeko Fukuhara, Jitsuzo Fukuhara, Yoshino Fukuhara, Tadasu Fukushima, Sanji Bob Fukuyama, Evelyn Hamamoto, Isono Hayashi, Kiyoshi Mike Hirano, Roy Ko Hirata, Harry Hideyuki Hisaka, Motohiko Hori, Toshiharu Hota, Homeo Igarashi, Yoko Yona Inamasu, Masayuki Ishihara, Sam Minoru Itaya, Kosumi Ito, Harry Yoshihiro Kajioka, Isamu Sam Kamibayashi, Mieko Kamigaki, Doris Kawamura, Dick Goro Masuda, Nariko Matsumura, George Mitsuda, Tokuichi Mitsuda, Kenso Miyamoto, Yukie Morita, Fukuichi Murakami, Mikino Nagai, Irene Hatsue Nakano, Iwae Nishi, Makiko Bernice Nishida, Roy Nishida, Shigeju Nishida, Reginald Tatsuo Ogawa, Sam I. Oki, Glenn Okubo, Joyce Okura, Kenji Onizuka, Lydia Ota, Koto Otsubo, Tomio Otsuka, Masae Oyama, Rei Sakakura, George Sato, Sugi Shiba, Reverend Teshin Shibata, Yoshiko Shiga, Luther Takashi Shimozaki, Hiroshi Shimoto, Haruko Sugimoto, Mary Sadako Sugimoto, George Suzuki, Ronald Tajima, Katsuko Take, Mary Kimiko Tanaka, Yoshinobu Frank Tanaka, Kumekichi Taniguchi, Kinsuke Teranishi, Frank Hiroshi Tokunaga, James Tsuchimoto, Ronald Y. Uota, Kimio Grace Uekubo, Jimmy Uemura, Koji Wada, Takayuki Wakabayashi, Hanae Jun Watanabe, Leslie Yabumoto, Tada Yabumoto, Alice Yamada, Mutsuo Yamamoto, Noboru Yamanaka, Sakae Yamasaki, Sanji Yano, Betty Tudumi Yasuda, Mitsue Yasui, Yukichi Yasui, Henry Hiroshi Yoshimi, Haruo Yoshimura, James Kitaro Yoshino, and Jiro Yotsuya. We realize in the cherished memories of those we love and have lost, the impermanence of all the world is revealed. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of life's impermanence. May the lights that burn brightly on the altar lead our thoughts to Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. So at this time, we will continue with the chanting. And today I would like to chant part of the Shoshinge, and I'll go into that a little bit later in my Dharma message. But please join me beginning on page 39, and then we'll continue. I'll chant it a little bit faster, but we'll continue on page 54, and then we'll end with the regular Nembutsu and echo that we do with our sutra chanting. And for those of you that are observing, which I'm sure are all of you today, please go ahead and offer incense during the sutra chanting.
印度在天之中原，这个几多松，现代说不得手艺，有代不得有意，啥个有代有的在。一直都有当天地，一直在继续都在，谁知道在往前，在自然中手把你的手啊，天气能有多不你有你有心有的，我不怜你的不足的，今年做自己，愿你自由，愿我手中有代过。我的一个在我，天地我所知我都在，你我日夜共有的，但是大天地间，我在我中在这个。我永远的爱过，你的恩重手一心，你知道可奈何看，你知道可奈何也是。若不是人也总谁来，所的手心有我手机，如果努力变名字，如手机有机有别，我知道的分析。中国人中国啥子人，当作的是之中有，我都曾有的感悟，曾经我啥子都去给，我都一个跟谁的。我也对我有道理，说中心与心境，我们相同的心境中，终其终其所愿，一心的流动流动，手的是周开个变。多少天手都能手，因有种种的思念，放在记忆的同时，天空中的看在手，咱的三西边风，多么自我每次都你。一手送来的几个字，夕阳流的手流的很浓的手。
Please join me in singing the Gatha Shuka verses 1 and 2, page 217, and this will be followed by the three treasures. Please stand and join me in singing of the Gatha. Please join me for the reading of the three treasures, and that could be found on page 2. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme love. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal brotherhood, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Can you please be seated? So I would like to continue on with the Dharma message for this morning. And to begin, I'd like to read a section from the Shoshinge that we chanted. If you could please join me in Gassho. The person burdened with extreme evil should simply say the name, although I too am within Amida's grasp. Passions obstruct my eyes, and I cannot see the light. Nevertheless, great compassion is untiring, and illumines me always. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. So thank you again for joining me this morning to observe our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of December. And every month, I have the honor to be able to read each of the names of our friends and loved ones who have passed away. And of course, since I grew up at this temple, I may not be familiar with some of the individuals in our Sangha who have passed away and who were remembering. However, growing up here, I think I did have the pleasure and honor to meet many of them. So maybe a name, I can still recall their names being read, or people saying their names while I grew up here. But of course, I can get emotional or choked up like some of you might when you hear your loved ones' names being read. And this month in particular, I noticed many names of friends of the Dharma from this temple, from my own family. And it's hard for me not to get choked up when I think about these individuals, especially my own family members. And if you recall me saying my grandpa's name for this year, Reverend Peshin Shibata. And I think today happens to be maybe a little bit more emotional day for me because it is the anniversary of his passing. And he passed away in 1992. And so it seems like forever that we've had him in our family, and I can think upon my grandmother and being at their house, and they were babysitting us when we were little. So many different memories can flood back to me, especially on this day of his passing. And he's my inspiration for today's Dharma message. And this particular passage that I read from Shinran Shonin's words, Shoshinge, was actually his favorite. And so some of you probably are aware, my grandfather served as a minister as well. And he was actually serving here. And I think in 1978 is when he had retired. which was actually the year that I was born. So I never had the opportunity to really hear my grandfather speak as a minister. I just knew him as Jichan, and I knew him as, my grandpa who liked eating steak for dinner, and he always loved watching Wheel of Fortune. And so I, remember him doing those types of things. But now looking back, and of course, as I have the pleasure of being a minister as well, it saddens me to think that I never got to hear him give Dharma messages, especially since he spoke mostly Japanese as well. However, I think through this passage, learning that this was his favorite passage of Shinran Shonin's work, our founder, it brings me some closeness to him. And this is because of the fact of another Dharma teacher that we have had the pleasure of having here at our temple, Reverend Dr. David Matsumoto. And so when I was a student at the Institute of Buddhist Studies, Reverend Matsumoto was one of my teachers for many of my classes. And he happened to tell me, this was your Jichan's favorite passage from Shinran Shonin's work. And that's why, too, I was inspired to chant Shoshinge today with you, as I thought about my grandpa. And of course, as we turn our hearts and minds to Shinran Shonin's works, to Shinran Shonin's teachings of the Nembutsu, and of course, Amida Buddha's great wisdom and compassion. So I've shared this before, but I just wanted to review, in summary, what Shoshinge is and why we chant it. And being a child growing up here, I remember chanting Shoshinge, and I don't think I remembered calling it Shoshinge. I remember saying, oh, it's the longest sutra that we chant. That's gonna take a long time. So, but I have a greater understanding of it now, and a deeper appreciation for Shinran Shonin's work on Shoshinge. So, can you believe that we chanted together 120 phrases and 60 lines? And Shoshinge, again, is Shinran Shonin's major work, and it provides a very poetic summary praising the development of Pure Land teachings as it evolved from India, and as it spread to China and Japan, and giving us many references of many teachings that Shinran Shonin had really praised and really appreciated from 7 principal teachers. And those teachers are the 7 patriarchs, or the 7 masters on the wall on the side. And so because of that, he expresses a deep gratitude to them, who really, influenced his thought and thinking of the Nembutsu teachings. And so this is what we call hymns of praise and faith. And so this is something that, again, that we chant during our services, at funeral services as well. And again, it's the poem or hymn of true faith. And this is part of his major work, Kyogyo Shinsho. And Shinran's work, he started at age 62, this Kyogyo Shinsho. And he continued until his death at 89 years old. So I can't imagine writing my magnum opus from 62 to 89. It was tough enough for me to write my master's thesis in my 30s, let alone writing in my 60s, 70s, and 80s. But it really was a 6-volume worth of work that talked about practice in the Nembutsu. And so again, this is why we do chant Shoshinge and why it's such an important, I shouldn't say sutra, but hymn for us as well. And so when we think about our Dharma teachers, as Shinran Shonin was praising his Dharma teachers, perhaps you can think about the teachers that you had in your life, at school, maybe here at the temple, or even within your own family. I'm sure many of you, as you're observing Shotsuki memorial service, you're thinking about your loved ones, thinking about all of those lessons that they taught you and how they're still providing you comfort, especially since you're missing them so much. And so I'm kind of reminded again of my grandfather's passing and what he's taught me in my lifetime, even though, again, it's 30 years since he's been passed. But I think I've shared this before, but the day that he had passed away, I can still remember. And being 13 or 14 years old, going to the hospital was still rather scary for me to do. But I do remember very vividly the day that we had seen him in the hospital before he had passed away. And he looked so small. My grandfather was a tiny individual anyways, but I think being in the hospital bed made him look even more small. And visiting hours were closing. At that time, our whole family was able to go into the room and to be with him and surround him, just with our love and our care and our presence. But I remember having to leave, and I was very emotional at that time, thinking about leaving him, because it was very sad to think that we were leaving him and not taking him home. And my grandfather and I don't really recall us being very affectionate. However, they expressed, both my grandmother and grandfather expressed their love through taking care of us and giving us miso soup every day that we went over to their house, and they babysat us when we were very young. And I remember being able to say goodbye, and he reached his hand out. To me, and I never really recall holding hands with my grandfather before. And we just held hands for a long time. Until this day, I can still remember the touch of his hand in my hand. And maybe intuition kicked in, or just understanding the condition that he was in. Unfortunately, he had caught pneumonia. And just how sad I felt, again, knowing that we would be leaving him. And maybe understanding, again, the seriousness of his condition. But I still remember our hands touching and having to let go of him. And sadly, later that night, my father received a phone call from the hospital saying that he had taken a very quick turn for the worst and he had passed away. And I had always regretted leaving, wondering if he was by himself. I'm feeling very sad because of that. But I think understanding the faith that he had in the Nebutsu teachings, even with this passage, learning that it was his favorite, it's given me some comfort over the years. Even 30 years later, it still deeply saddens me to think about that particular night of leaving him. But I think this was a very symbolic gesture of us being able to hold hands as a young teenager. That his grasp is always with me. And perhaps many of you can think about the last time you hugged or kissed your loved one, the last time you were able to hold their hand, the last time that you were able to share words or memories or thoughts or funny stories, or just to smile with them as well. And I hope that that continues to bring you comfort, even years, months after your loved one's passing. And again, in this particular passage, that was my grandfather's favorite. It says, passions obstruct my eyes, I cannot see the light. Nevertheless, great compassion is untiring and illumines me always. And so I think it talks about very much about our human nature, of course, as humans. And I say this often, that we too suffer from blinding passions of greed and anger and ignorance. However, despite all of this, despite all of these emotions that we experience as human beings, Amida Buddha's great compassion is always shining and always embracing us, and perhaps always holding our hand, especially when we need it most, when we're grief-stricken, when we're sad, when we're anxious, when we're depressed. So many of those feelings that overwhelm us on a day-to-day basis. And still, even 30 years later, as grief touches my heart today, I still feel a lot of warmth. I still feel, again, this touch of my grandfather's hand, continuing to guide me, continuing to be with me. And I think to kind of summarize all of these thoughts and feelings, that's why we do call upon, when we chant Sambujin, call upon the Buddhas of the 10 directions and that very last line, which means all of your loved ones as well. Because of Amida Buddha's great compassion and wisdom, we are able to encounter the Nembutsu teachings and also to be able to be born into the Pure Land, becoming Buddhas themselves. And I'd like to think that all of our loved ones, including my grandpa, including maybe your dad, your mom, your grandparents as well, they're continuing to guide us with their loving touch, their loving hand, their loving hugs, allowing us to be able to come together today, to be able to hear the Nembutsu teachings, and to be able to bring those into our everyday lives. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share my thoughts and feelings, to remember my grandpa today, and share some of my tears with you. Just letting you know too, it's okay to shed a few tears today as you miss your loved ones as well. And let's turn our hearts and minds to them as we say the Nembutsu together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So we will, oh, thank you. So we will continue, and before the conclusion of our service, to have one last gafa on Loksan number 1 on page 194. Please join me in Masho as we read the translation. The debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's great compassion, I will proclaim until my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my Dharma teachers, I will express until my bodily form is finally shattered. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. So this will be the conclusion of today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service, and I appreciate your attendance today as well. And we did have a list of announcements, and they're not here anymore. However, one announcement that I did want to share was that unfortunately we won't be doing our mochitsuki this year. However, if you're interested in purchasing mochi through the Pastor Buddhist Church, there's still time. Today is the last day. So Mr. Mike Shibata, my uncle, will be doing a group order for us. And if you would like to turn in an order form, I can print some up for you and we can submit that. And he'll be doing a pickup for all of our members. And I believe he's coming between 2 and 3 the day, I believe it's the 18th, December 18th for delivery. So you can meet him here if you're interested. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know. But that'll conclude today's service. And if you haven't had an opportunity to offer incense, please do so. And please continue to stay safe and well. Thank you, everybody. Thank